Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for you freaking motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. And as y'all motherfuckers already know, it is motherfucking Heauxvember. We're back with the 9th episode of the month, and we're talking about sex toys and masturbation. In this episode, we will be diving deep into our whole bags and our toy closets. And who I have with me, y'all know him very well. It's motherfucker Hakeem, my twin. How you doing today?
Doing all right. I'm here to talk about the things and the stuff and, everything that's in our whole bags today.
Look, speaking of whole bags, I've been thinking about this idea of actually launching something called a whole bag. Of course, it's just going to be like probably a tote with the Soliloquy podcast logo on it, and people can literally put their toys in there if they want to. And I'm also thinking about doing like a whole box too. Which would just be like a little thing where somebody can just, order it. It'll have like a toy in there, some condoms, most definitely for a brand that might be sponsoring the show or not sponsoring the show. Just the ones that I actually prefer people to use. But like send that out. Some lubes that people can try or use for themselves. I definitely want to include like a flavored lube because look, there's not enough people who try those, and I love flavored lubes because I get to flavor whatever part of my body I want them to look on, and I enjoy that so much. So like, just something like that, just to connect with people and give them access to some additional toys or stuff to try at home. Who knows, with their partner. But that's just something I'm thinking about. I don't know for sure if I'm going to do it. Who knows? But before we even start going into our whole bags, because yes, we will be talking about our fucking toys. Just to let y'all know, it is Heauxvember. Heauxvember is a month of celebration. And this episode, I'm going to be sipping on some wine.
Sipping on the scissor, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be enjoying it, and I have my own little mix that I use now, and it's been giving me life. Like ever since the podcast reached like 1,000 downloads, I was like, let me go ahead and celebrate. And nice. I love I drink Taylor Port, and Taylor Port kind of just levels me out.
Ain't that just like a grape juice?
Nigga, no. It's some strong ass grape juice. It's not even stronger than most liquors, but it levels me out. It makes me feel relaxed, and it gives me a great little buzz. And that's the thing I like about it. It's just it also has it's very bitter and it's a little bit sweet. So what I decided to do, I mix it now with some other wines. So I have like a good portion of Taylor Port. Then I add in some of that good bitch Stella. because she always pull the fuck up. Incest is sweet, so she gives me that little nice sweetness to balance out the bitterness. And then I add some Island Punch Bacardi in there just because I'm like, might as well. And then just because I'm sexy, I always put some fruit juice in there.
All right, mixologist. Damn.
And it is so delicious.
I'm gonna call this the drink of the satyrs. I don't like.
Look, it's the Heauxvember special, bitch. That's what it is.
There you go.
That's what we're gonna call it. Look, and I'm probably not going to mention what the fuck I'm drinking, like the mixture in other episodes, but y'all motherfuckers, when you get to this point, that's what I've been sipping on.
Those are great.
So, oh God, hold up. Let me get another sip in. All right. So, Hakeem.
What up?
What the fuck is in your hope? Oh, shit. You know what? I left my other bag in my room, but it's perfectly fine.
Two?
Yes, I got two. I have the essential
Bougie.
bag and I have the toy bag.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what a bougie nigga.
I accept that. I will fucking accept that. So, like, in my essentials bag, that's the bag where I have like my condoms, enemas, wipes, my lubes. I do keep a flavor lube in that motherfucker. I also have like toothpaste, toothbrush, all the essentials, essentially. Deodorant, extra fragrances that I like. So that's what's in my essential bag. But my toy bag, I don't take that everywhere. That is, if I know what I'm going over there for, that might come with me, or I might take some toys out and put in my essential bag and let everything happen the way they need to happen. So what do you have in your bag? What do you have in your toy? Do you have a toy chest, or you just keep a bag?
No, I just keep a bag for right now. I haven't upgraded to a chest because I don't have a place of my own like that. So when I get a place of my own, best believe I'm getting a chest. But in my bag, it's kind of like your essentials bag. But I got flavored lube.
This pineapple and mango?
Yeah, it's pineapple, banana. It's tropical flavored, tropical explosion. Never had it before. Actually.
What you mean you never? You have to taste your lubes. Well, flavor lubes.
Well, I mean, I bought it and I was expecting to use it, but like I said, people just be like, yeah, I want to fuck, and then like when it comes time for it, it's like, oh, like I gotta do other shit. I'm like, all right, I understand. Like, I get it. I also have these 50 Shades of Grey handcuffs. A little bit of branding. I don't agree with the actual like show and shit or the movie, but you know, these were on sale, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get these fucking cuffs. It's got a key with it.
Are they fur?
No, not at all. They're the actual like metal fucking cuffs.
Ooh, sir, you need to get you some fur cuffs. They're a little bit more comfy.
I mean, I hear you, but I don't plan on like
using those.
Yeah, like using them. Like, you know, for them to struggle against and shit like that. You know what I mean? I have yet to use these in a sexual setting, but yeah, I mean, you know, if I want to walk around and shit, like make sure the bitch don't get lost in the public setting, like cover, like come on, let's go.
I feel you there. Like, just like clink clink, we gonna walk together.
I'm like, yeah, you want punishment? Yeah, go.
It's domination.
Yeah, and also I have root.
Speaking of which, because I almost asked the question earlier, where the hell did you get your rope for? And do you mind explaining shibari?
Sure. So shibari is a Japanese art of rope tying. There's rope tying and there's shibari. Like shibari is a whole different type of tying in general. It can get very intricate. It's supposed to be very sensual. Because you're building a connection with your partner, or you know, the person that you're tying up and stuff. In addition to that, where I got my rope, I got it from Amazon, believe it or not. And I also got these cool EMT safety scissors. They like EMTs usually use them to cut off people's clothes and shit like that. You have to have or it is recommended that you have a way to quickly undo some rope or anything like that, like some sort of scissors or safety instrument that you can use, a sharp. So that way, the person starts, to have a panic attack or freaking out, or like the rope is too tight and you need to get it out in a quick and a jiff. You can just snip and then you're good. Speaking of that, there is a guy on YouTube who teaches like shibari a little bit. What's his name? YouTube. I think his name is Rory Brainsworks. That's his YouTube thing. He's like the go-to guy that I look at when I'm trying to like understand, like, okay, how do I do this? Like, what does this look like? That kind of thing.
Ooh, something that we can put in the show notes. I love it. So wait, is that all the toys that you have?
I have a couple of others, like some masturbatory toys for myself, but I rarely use those things because like ain't nothing like your own hand or a body.
I agree with you 100%. Like I do have a few masturbatory toys I'm going to go into soon, but it's nothing like my own hands or somebody else. Like it's I think it's the connection for me. Like what masturbatory toys do you have?
So a long time ago, there was shit. What? I forget what they were called. Like they used to have an ad like every fucking where. Basically, they had like sex toys in a can. Like,
are you talking about like the Fleshlight thing?
Yeah, Fleshlight. Okay. Yeah. So Fleshlight had like this whole line of like toys that were designed to be used by men, and they were like in a can, like a beer can. And I was like, that's interesting. Like I want one of them. So I bought like 2 of them. The first one I lost. The second one, I moved.
How you lose a sex toy? Just imagine if you just left it in the apartment. Somebody just pulls up and like, what is that, Johnny? What is this? This Rebecca, beer? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's just beer. I handle this. I wonder if this man used this last time.
I mean,
do I wash it or
dispose of it immediately? Like I'm one of those people that's like, yo, like if I can't, I don't trust using toys on like that I'm gonna come in contact with. Like I don't want to swap that unless I'm like thoroughly cleaning that bitch like 1 to 2 to 3 times.
Exactly.
But nah, like they came out with this line of like sex toys that came in a can, and I got one that was a anal toy and one that was a vaginal toy, and I was like, this shit is all right, but I mean, my hand could do like a lot better.
Exactly. Like let me go into my whole bag and pull out some stuff. Like the fleshlights that I have, I use them with other like people, but for myself I don't really like them too much. Because it does absolutely nothing for me, because I do get a lot more pleasure from me providing my own pleasure with my own hand. It's just a connection with my baby, that's all. Like I enjoy that. But I will say this one that I have in my hand is like I love the jelly feel of it and the suction sound. It's like, yeah, but like I like the feeling of the gel. Like if I could have this gel as like a glove, oh my god, I would go to town on my dick. Like, oh my god, like. But yeah, it's mainly the gel that I like with this toy. So this one I will definitely use a little bit more. And I'm sorry, y'all, because this is like an audio podcast. Y'all will not be able to see these actual toys. I will
See?
say I got this off of Amazon. I forgot exactly where. If I get a link, I'll put that in the show notes for y'all. I will at least. I'm not going to remember to put like Toy 1, Toy 2, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I will at least share some of the information that I have. But like this one, I would say will be of the masturbatory, big ones, will be the more superior one. And then I have an automated one. Well, before I go to the automated one, this one vibrates. It also has its own suction. Now, the suction in itself is hard to control because it's like one of the buttons releases the pressure that's already in there. And because it's sucking your dick in, you just have to figure out which one is which. It does it on its own. And then there's another button that makes it like suck in a little bit more. And then there's just like, I think one of the rules is don't cover the hole. It's easy to clean though. I will say that.
Wait, why won't you cover the hole?
Because it impacts the pressure, but I cover it to make it a little bit more suction feel. So like you're not releasing that air anytime soon. But yeah, it is very easy to clean. Now the other one is I hate it because there's like this huge gap between like the automated massager, because it goes down and up, and it's like that space between where it's at. It's like, I get it, you know, for well endowed people,
right?
But at the same time, it doesn't even connect with like the average dick. So it's like even if you have a little bit of girthiness to it, the walls of the machine doesn't really do anything for you. It just feels like a little bit of like, I guess, jelly claws outlining your dick, and it's like, what the fuck is that supposed to do for anybody? But I have some former sex partners who's like, okay, I kind of enjoy it, but I'm like, I don't see how the rotations are horrible. There's not a constant circular motion that it can go into. It's like, let's go in the circle, then let's go back, and then it just keeps doing that over and over, or do 3 circles, then go back 1, then go another 3. I'm like, those rotations are not it. So
see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know what. So okay, women talk about how dudes, when they, you know, feel like, you know, when women are about to come, they switch up the motion and it changes like their whole mood, and like they just say, nah, it's over with, like you fucked it up. Like, it's the same thing with dudes and masturbating. Like, there's a rhythm, and when a sex toy fucks that rhythm up, you just like, all right, I'm gonna just switch back to my hand. Like, why did I spend money on this?
Exactly. Like, I could have just pleasured myself and it would have been lit. It would have been all that I needed. Like, that's it. Now, I have some kink toys and other things. Okay, this is a charger. Let me put that in. I don't need that right now. Actually, I do, because anyways. So look, I'm actually supposed to be meeting up with somebody tonight, possibly. I don't know for sure. They haven't responded, and toys were going to be involved. One toy in particular, which is also one of my favorites to use for myself. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So if you hear these little sounds, these are nipple clamps. So the reason I actually own these is for a former partner of mine, and it's because they like to have their nipples bitten, and I also got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm biting your nipples way too hard that it's bleeding. And
oh no,
I don't want to bite off your nipples, so I want a safety measure. And so I was like, let's get some clamps and try it that way. Unfortunately, the clamps did not work because it was too much pressure for them. So we ended up not having to do that and had to go back to teeth. So Didn't work out the way that we wanted to. But say that to say, I got nipple clamps. Now they do have a setting so that you can reduce the pressure that you feel. Like, I do enjoy some good nipple play, but I prefer soft nipple play because my nipples are sensitive as hell. If you bite the shits too hard, I'm ready to punch you in the face. Literally. Like my regular. A motherfucker bit a little bit too hard. I was like, Nick. Then I was like, oh. I literally had to calm down. I was like, a little bit softer, a little bit softer. I don't like, let's communicate, Vernon. Violence is not the answer in this moment. Violence is not the answer. Communicate. Use your words. Use your fucking words. So, you know, just like, hey, too hard. You gotta be softer with these. They're sensitive. Yep. Don't be brutalizing my fucking titties. You don't do that. Now I have this clitoral stimulator. It is one of the ones that have a tongue, and I use this for nipple play because I am a man who does not have a vulva. I do not have a clitoris, so it really does nothing for me to have a clitoral stimulator.
Right.
You have to make that obviously known, because somebody asked me, well, why do you need a rose? And I don't own a rose yet, but I am getting one. But the reason why I need a rose is for nipple play people.
Yeah,
I
like
want a fucking rose.
How do people? That's something that always just, you know, trips me out. Like, people don't think you know, doing stuff outside the box.
Right. So like this little tongue that this thing has is a little rough, but I also like it. The speed that it like kind of licks, as you can see. I like that. It's very comfortable. So, and it goes faster too. So it's like I use this for nipple play and nipple play only. Now, another benefit of having this, if I actually meet up with a partner who has a clitoris or full-on vulva or whatever, I can use this on them. So it's like, get your toy game up so you have partners that you can, you know, use them with. Right. Now, cleaning, because you did mention that earlier. Because I'm skeptical about, you know, other people's toys because I don't know their cleaning process. And I know for myself, I clean my fucking toys, and I use toy cleaner, hot water, cold water, then more toy cleaner, a blessing. But like I clean my toys twice. So when people just like, oh yeah, we just bring out the toys and whatnot, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to bring out my toys for a meetup at midnight, because when I get home, or if you come over here and then you leave, I'm going to be up cleaning my toys, because I do not go to sleep with messy toys. That's not happening over here. I'm not going to allow that buildup of bacteria on my toys, for one. And another thing, if I forget to clean my toy, then that's another issue. So I'm not going to risk that. So like, if I don't know your cleaning process, don't think you're going to use your toys with me. Like, it's not happening. Like, people, clean your toys. Clean your toys. I cannot stress this enough. Clean your toys, and clean your toys twice. If that means putting alcohol on your toys, to make sure you disinfect the motherfuckers. Put alcohol on your toys. And then let them dry out. Keep them away from the other toys. All the other good stuff. So, what other shit do I have in my whole bag? Ooh. Just for
please tell me you got lube.
Oh, of course I got lube. I keep lube. Now that's in my essentials. I have this nipple titillation aerosol gel for nipple play. I think it's flavored too. Yeah, I think it's okay, I haven't used this in a while.
Whole tongue go numb.
It is, that not spearmint, but that winter
green.
It's that
winter
kind of
mint.
Yeah, winter mint. So like that's the flavoring of it. But yeah, I use this on my nipples, and it is pretty nice.
Somebody told me that you can use CBD oil or something like that, or
I wouldn't be shocked.
something like like you can use CBD oil or something like that to kind of it's like a numbing agent, but also makes you horny. So I was like, how does that work?
Like CBD is CBD oil is great for like massages. So I will say that. I don't know necessarily in terms of horniness. So I am curious about exploring that. But yeah. I have a mask for kink stuff, but this is mostly for my Zatum side. Yeah, Sebastian Adams, y'all. You better recognize the motherfucker. Then I have a dildo, but this is not for me. Because it's like huge. Like
that's whoa.
Right.
What is that? That's a burrito, bro.
Not a fucking burrito. Like I cannot, like, I originally purchased it for myself and I was like, no, I can't do this. I don't know how people do this for themselves. More power to you. But after a while I was like, I know some people I can use this on, so let's do that instead. So yeah, I have this huge motherfucker. I actually got this one from Adam for Adam, their shop. I personally don't like the vibrations, but some people do. So it's like, choose whatever you want.
Yeah, you can have whatever you like, kind of thing.
So I also have a collar and leash, just for the pet play kind of thing. Not necessarily for anybody that I'm genuinely trying to collar. Now, I did use this with a former partner, and it did make the sex a lot more better. Most definitely, whenever you
a lot more better. Come on.
No, it intensified the sex, because it got to a point where it's like, rather than me having to vocalize rougher or faster, all I had to do is just pull the collar or loosen up the collar a little bit, and it just was very natural. And it was fun. It was a motherfucking movie, I would say that. I actually do have some rope, but it's very small rope, so I don't really count it worth of shit. But got that. Okay. Now, just to transition. Well, I'm still in kink stuff, so I thought I was going to go back to the vibrators, but I have a few more. So this here is my feather, because I do like some good sensory play. So for anybody who likes sensual play and whatnot, and they want to see what feather play is like, hit your boy up. I don't mind showing you how great that shit can be, and how a feather can lead you towards an orgasm, depending on what you like.
Right.
Now, I also have a flog. So good. I do like a little bit of impact play, spanking and shit.
Spank that ass. Yep.
Then I have a couple of what's the things called? Not G-spot, but prostate stimulators.
Oh, okay.
So I have a smaller one. Well, they're both pretty small, but the smallest one has a remote control that I can use during sex. This is actually my favorite one because of the remote control. And then there's the other one that has a cock ring attached to it. I use this with my regular ones, and yeah, it was fun. So kind of about what I was talking about earlier about meeting up with somebody. Yeah, might as well tell y'all what the goal is, because by the time this airs, the incident already happened. So it is. All right. So if y'all want to do this with your partners, feel free to do so. So look, free sex advice, gotta love it. It's Heauxvember. You should be having sex anyways to celebrate. If you're not, you might as well do it after this fucking episode.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and get that dick and or pussy wet.
Ain't it? So the thing is, with this person, it's a guy, and he's also a bottom, and the goal is to elongate the orgasm as long as I can.
Oh, edging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a fan of pleasure overload as well as delayed gratification. So
I mean, you went to college, like that's pretty much like what we do.
Facts. So like I'm going to use my favorite prostate stimulator. Use that to control his control the vibrations with the remote. There's also an app, but I think I deleted the app. But have that going on, and that's the thing that's going to warm him up. And while that's warming him up, getting him aroused and going on, utilize the feather to find his sensitive areas and rub that down his body throughout all the crevices, find all the erogenous zones. And when I locate exactly on his body that is the most sensitive, utilize the flog to heighten that area a little bit more, spank it some, let it get normal to that impact feeling, and then go back over it with the feather, just go in and out with the sensations there. Do a little bit of body rubbing, and I hope until this motherfucker orgasms without nobody touching him.
Nice. Damn. Yeah, man. You ain't teaching a master class? Like,
look, if motherfuckers trying to learn, look, I don't mind. I do not mind. Oh shit, my feather matches my hair. Okay.
That's why I was like, oh shit, this man teaching a whole master class over here.
So if y'all into some sensory play, there you go. Another thing I like in sensory play is like breath play.
Oh yeah.
Like doing slow breezes on a person, or even hot breath and whatnot on the back of your neck. Oh my god. And just those kind of things. I love sensory play, y'all. Sensory play is where it's at. I know other people not into the sensory play, but the motherfucker over here is into the sensory play. And having control over other people's orgasms, I don't know. That's the greatest kink.
It is. It really is. Because, it's a certain level of like control that goes with it too, right? Like you can tell somebody like, hey, I don't want you to come just yet. I want you to stay where you are right now on that edge. Let me rub you down. Or like, don't come yet until I come.
Oh.
And like if you're not like a person that easily comes, like that can be torture all in itself.
And honestly, because I talk the talk, but I cannot walk the walk, because I'm one of those people that can come very easily. And like, most definitely, like if I'm really into the sex and I'm enjoying myself, a quick breeze, like literally a breeze to the tip of my fucking dick will have me like, oh my god, I'm coming. But the recharge game is on point. Like all I need is 1 minute sometimes, or even 2, and I can get back in it. Now, if I experience a full body orgasm, if that happens, I'm out for a good 30 minutes. Don't touch me. I'm disgusted with everything that I've just done. I'm disturbed. That was the things that we just did is not okay. It's unnatural. I'm a holy child in this moment. How dare you want to go forward with it?
I have orgasm regrets.
Exactly. Like, don't touch me. I'm a filthy whore at this moment. And yes, you can call me that shit right now. And I'm okay with it.
Oh man, that's. I mean, it's just like the idea of somebody switch being flipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you sitting there and you over here making them think ungodly things about themselves, right? And there's a point in time when that person gets into like the subspace. I think we talked about it before, where subspace is where that person is just not thinking on a higher level, like basic level of functioning. They're like really going off instinct at some point. And subspace is different for different people. I've never experienced it because I'm not like a sub. I'm more of a top. I'm not going with like dominant or anything like that now because I don't know. I'm not very like overtly dominant. Like I make you feel nice. I talk to you nice. But if you don't do what I ask you to do, then I'm just like, oh well, let's see how we can correct that real quick.
You're not the assertive dom.
Right. I'm not the assertive dom. I'm like a loving dom. Like,
Gotcha.
oh, did you drink water today? You got to be drinking water today. Like that kind of shit. Real daddy shit.
Oh, he said he a daddy.
At this point, at this point in my age, I gotta go ahead and own up to it.
Well, you at your big daddy age, anyways. Big Daddy Keem.
Oh my god.
Y'all, that's going to be his stage name. Big Daddy Keem. I'm here for it.
Oof. But yeah. So, what's the other thing we were supposed to be talking about?
Well, do you have a favorite toy?
I prefer, so I do have a Lush, for her pleasure, but I can't find it for some reason. Hold on. What? Oh, appreciate you. Hey, this apple juice is pretty good from what I hear.
What apple juice?
The apple juice that be in like the
little cute bottle. That's such a cute bottle.
Yeah.
So, confession, listeners, I have a apple juice addiction.
You have an addiction?
This
apple juice is. Oh my god!
Don't tell me that. Now I'm going to have to go get some. I need to know send me the brand, all that shit. But I should not So I'm better these days with my apple juice shit. So
it's Martinelli's.
Martinelli's. Let me see if they have that in my local area. But there was this time, right? I just needed apple juice. Apple juice was what I wanted. It was my preferred drink. So I avoided it because I know how I react when I get near some fucking apple juice. Like back in the day in the cafeteria, I went to the caf, I'll get me some apple juice. I will enjoy my apple juice until they start watering that shit down, which pissed me the fuck off. I'm sorry, I should not be in that moment right now.
It's the hoe drink. Drink of the hose. It's got him in his feelings.
It got me in my feelings.
Kiki, do you love me?
I'm fucking done. So I will go there every morning, just get me some apple juice and make sure that I have that in my system. It's a good start to my day. Then I'll just start. The reason I drink a lot more lemonade these days is so I can avoid drinking apple juice. So there's that. Now, there was a point where I was like, you know what? I'm doing a lot better. I could have me some apple juice. I don't go crazy with it or anything. And I know people are listening to this like, how the fuck can you be addicted to apple juice?
Hey, man, delicious. It's a real thing.
It's delicious as fuck. So, and look, Mott's apple juice, Juicy Juice apple juice. Those are the top tier apple juices. I might have, you said Martinelli?
Yeah, Martinelli's.
I'm going to have to try them to see if they're also top tier. Everything else, bro. It's a little.
I already know.
So now, actually, there was this Kroger brand apple juice. So this is when I had to recognize my problem and accept my problems, not really heal from my problems or do anything about it. So. So I went to Kroger and I was like, I never had their apple juice before. And that jug, it was a half-gallon jug. It was 2 for $5. And it's sad that I remember all this. No, it was 2 for $3. So it was 2 for $3. And the bottle glistened and it was sweating. And I'm like, you are looking delicious. And I never tried you, and I want to try you. And I'm like, you have a good price, so I'm going to get the two of you for the $3. So I did that. I put one of them in the freezer because I was like, I put both of them in the freezer, and I waited 30 minutes so the other one, one of them can get, super cold.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, give this some time, cool off, and then I'm going to indulge. And I drank that entire half gallon.
Damn.
In less than 30 minutes. And then I was like, you know what? That's good. I got my fix. Life is great. I probably should take this other one down from the top of the freezer. But you know what? I wanted to get a little bit colder before I do that. An hour passed. And I'm like, I should take this from up top. I go into the look into the freezer. I'm just like, okay, let me go ahead and bring you out. You're looking good. You're looking delicious. Oh, I see you a little bit frothy in there. I see a little bit of ice crystals forming.
Ooh,
you're at that peak. Where I know every single sip I have will have a little bit of iciness to it. It'd be like a slushy, but it's not a slushy because it's too fluid. And I also sat down and drank that half gallon in less than 30 minutes. And I felt so great for 10 to 15 minutes. And then I remembered apple juice runs through your body. Apple juice somehow upsets the stomach a little bit and just say, motherfucker, you won't be on the toilet. And I was happy to be on that toilet because, one, the apple juice was good. It was hitting. And that second one, with the little frozen bits in it, it got the job done. It did what needed to be fucking done in that moment. And I do not regret it. So yeah, a 2-gallon thing of apple juice does not last more than 2 days in my apartment.
Damn. Could never. See, I used to be that way with soda, but then I said, you know what? It's not fun being dehydrated all the goddamn time. So, and also I used to be like that with apple juice. But then I was like, you know what? It's not fun. Smell like apples when I'm in the bathroom. Like, shit.
Man. Oof. I haven't had apple juice in 3 years. And I think the main reason for that is because of COVID. Because I do not go to the grocery store for pleasure anymore. I go in there for the necessities only. I don't go up in there and be like, oh, what snacks do we got today? Oh, is that a fucking nutty bar? I might get me a fucking nutty bar. Is that a fucking, what is it? Not turkey leg. Some jerky? Let me give you some jerky today. Nope. Only necessities and I'll get the fuck out. Oh, Lord. So, since we both masturbate, I'm going on the assumption that you're pro masturbation. Have you encountered any persons who were against masturbation?
Let me tell you about that bullshit. Like, oh my god, I don't. So okay, I'm all for masturbation because one, masturbation is how you keep yourself, one, sexually healthy, and two, it can prevent prostate cancer. Like, I didn't know that. Either is that or something else. Something sexual prevents prostate cancer, but I think it's masturbation. All right, anyway, whenever there's a relationship, right, with two people, two consenting parties, and one of them controls when you can masturbate, that relationship is controlling and toxic, and you should leave immediately. Like, I've met two people so far who have said that they were in relationships where their partner told them that, hey, you can't watch porn, you can't masturbate, you can only like have sex with me. And I'm just like, first off, how you gonna control this grown ass man and tell him what he can and can't do? Second off, why not? Like, tell me why. Is it, I just don't like. The crazy thing about it is the person didn't really have a logical explanation as to why. Like, oh, this person has a problem, like an addiction to porn or something like that. It was just, I don't want him to do it. And I'm like, what if somebody told you, I don't want you to work no more, I want you to be in the kitchen only? How would you feel? that's exactly how it feels when you're told not to masturbate. Not exactly. It's just a
it's a good metaphor though, because I get that. It resonates with me at least. Somebody else, they might not. It is what it is. I will say I was stuck on. I had to shake myself to get back current because I was stuck on the I cannot watch porn. Well, you cannot watch porn aspect because I'm like,
what do you mean?
I don't watch porn that often, but it's the like. Telling me I cannot do that on my free time is like, are you asking me not to be sexual? Are you telling me I cannot look at it? So I can't watch P Valley, even though it's not porn, but bitch. So like, can I watch any show that has sex in it?
I'm like, so you mean to tell me I can't have eyes? Like I can't just be out here looking at some fine. Like, let me tell you, oh man, let me tell you. I don't know what it is, but around the full moon, yams be out here. Like women just be out here shopping with yams and cheeks everywhere. And I'm just like, where y'all come from?
I'm so done. And I will say this is interesting. I don't know if it's anything factual, but you know, being on the spiritual side of things, most definitely like spiritual side of like TikTok spaces, and people talk about
spirit talk.
Yeah, spirit talk, and they're talking about, you know, the transitions in the moon and whatnot, and somebody brought it up, and I was like, I could see the logical side of this because, you know, with the human body being like 70% water already, and then the moon cycle is 28 days, like the menstrual cycle and whatnot. And so people were like, well, you know, when you track your cycles and whatnot, and you connect it to like the what's going on the on like the celestial level, most people's cycle link up with like the the phases of the moon. If that's the case, that might be the reason why the new moon brings out the nuance. And I'm here for it. Y'all better moon these motherfuckers out here. If you here for it and you proud of yourself and you are confident in what you're bringing and people are respecting you for that, show it off. And if you are not respecting them, learn to respect them. We all have the ability and capabilities of being sexual beings. Amen.
Exactly. Educated sexual beings, I might add.
Important.
Yeah, because dumb, I don't know what it is about. Like, see, here's the thing. I have a bimbo kink. I'm not afraid to say that I have a bimbo kink at this point in my life because I have realized this about myself. I like dumb hoes. Now, that doesn't mean that you actually have to be a dumb hoe. You just have to, like, pretend. Like, I like smart girls are cool. Like, I like smart girls. Like, I like the fact that you can do calculus on the fly. Like, I like that kind of stuff. I like that you're nerdy. However, if you put some heels on, like a sundress, paint your lips pink or whatever, got the nails and shit, and look like a dumb hoe, I'm gonna be like, you know what? You my dumb hoe.
I'm so done. So instead of it being called a bimbo kink, it's a dumb hoe kink. Okay.
Yeah. Like bimbofication is a real thing. Like they like I don't know, like one of my friends, we were talking, she was like, yeah, I have a bimbofication kink, and I was like, what? You do? Because she likes turning dudes into like whole bimbos, and I'm like, see, that's I could get with you.
I'm so done. But look, I cannot even like say anything because I know like I had an old kink back in the day, in my ages of being toxic as hell.
Turning niggas out.
In a sense, I had this thing that I'm like, you know what? Which nigga I'm gonna make my bitch today? The way I would know that I accomplished it is whenever I hit it. In my job, I'm a whole ass bottom, man. If I can make it. Oh God. At one point I was 10 for 10, y'all.
Nice.
When I was keeping count, after that, I was like, we shall see how this keep going. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I need to stop. Just like engage and have sex with people the way I have sex with people. Because around that time, I was like no longer into oral too. So it was like, well, there's that. So
I think I vaguely remember you saying that, like when we were in undergrad, and I was like, why not?
it was fun. Like it is funny because people just like, oh yeah, no films and all this other stuff. Even though I don't identify as film or anything like that, but I'm like, okay, bet no films. We'll see how quick that film can come out.
Yep.
You real macho man into the. You good?
Yeah.
You good?
I'm like, I tell people all the time. I'm like, hey man, you never know what you're gonna get until you do it. Like, it's just a thing.
Because I will say I've turned out a good bit of people, and when I say turn out, I don't mean like turn somebody gay, turn somebody bi. I mean like flip that shit and reversed it, and they just was like, you know what, my life has changed in this moment.
I have awakened. I now know what good ass is.
Look, change motherfuckers' lives out here for the better.
I'm gonna get my grades right.
Look, I'm doing the Lord's work out here. Don't shame me. Accept it. If you're not doing the Lord's work, how dare you? How dare you speak on anything? Do the Lord's work. Bless these motherfuckers the way they need to be blessed. Bring them to a higher level of consciousness.
Exactly.
And then leave them broken. I'm joking. Look, y'all, that's the Taylor port.
That's the Taylor port? That's what that is? Wow.
That's what that is. That's what it is. But yeah, I didn't do that to too many people. Only those assholes who deserved it. Now, so overall, like, have you always been like supportive of masturbating? Or at one point, did you feel as though it was bad to masturbate or anything like that?
I mean, the only time that I really felt it was like bad per se is like, when you're younger and you're not allowed to do specific things, that kind of thing. But other than that, it's like, sure, masturbation is cool, whatever. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't do anything. The only time it does become a problem is like if you just can't stop. Like I gotta rebel it out. Like, no, it should never be that way.
True. Like, I would say I became a lot more comfortable. Well, I will masturbate in secret, but I think I started to talk about masturbation more openly midway through high school, because I used to tell a lot of my female friends, like, once we graduate, I'm buying all y'all Viberators, which is a vibrator for those who don't understand that lingo. And I didn't do it because, a motherfucker was poor.
Yeah.
But because I'm just like, you might as well know this stuff. You might as well go ahead and be out here on these streets and, enjoying yourself with a vibrator. And because at that point I was really diving more into the sex education side of things, and also looking into like the porn that actually talked on a sex ed kind of level. Like when it came to, let's explore the woman's body a little bit more, and they were like, that's how I learned how to find the G-spot very easily. And it's like they were talking about how because I won't say sex ed, but they were just talking about the female body and pleasure. So they were like, literally all you do is like ask your partner if you want to find your G-spot. Listen to this people. So if you really want to find your G-spot, lay on your back, get in a very comfortable position, just massage yourself a little bit. That can be clitoral stimulation outside the vulva area, just getting yourself a little bit more aroused. and then insert like one finger or two fingers, whichever one's more comfortable for you, and then start searching the inner lining of your of the vulva, in about 1 to 2 inches within the canal, the vaginal canal. You'll find it. It's typically a rougher patch of skin, muscle tissue,
Mhm.
and that's it.
It's funny because like I found like so many people's G spot that I'm just like, I don't know what that is, but it feels different. Let me just go ahead and see what happens. And like, oh, that's the reaction I want. Let me keep doing this.
Mhm.
Like it's not a mystery or like
it's not rocket science. It is a science. It's anatomy, but it's not rocket science, people.
And the funny thing about it is, like, if you look at your fingers and then you like look at your index finger or your pointer finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
That first notch, like for your nail to that first like part where your finger creases,
Mm-hmm.
that's an inch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not a lot of people know that.
You do not have to go that far. Like some people don't even know that the clitoris is like huge as hell. Like that little button that y'all see there, that's not it. That's not everything. It's like it's claws up in that motherfucker that you get to explore and have fun with. Like the walls, massage that too, because that's the
that's
the
what the
clitoris is
too.
all around that. All around.
Yep, it's a muscle.
Yeah, it's analogous to the penis. If y'all want to know, like, since we are talking about masturbation, many people don't realize how the glands or the dickhead, that's where the majority of the nerves are for like pleasure and whatnot. So when someone's sucking your dick, you're not necessarily getting a lot of pleasure from them going to the base. You're getting pleasure from them rubbing the glands. That's about it. So like when you're fucking somebody's throat or whatever, you're getting that pleasure because the glands is getting the pleasure. The head is getting the pleasure, not because the shaft is getting the pleasure. And I kind of had to teach that to my regular, because he's a mofo that likes to try to throat fuck, and I'm like, I'm not a throat fucking motherfucker. I barely like to be down here to suck a dick, so we're not going to be we're not doing that. So like even massaging the head, and you're just like, oh shit, and you see that buckle, because you know that's where the pleasure is at. Like you don't really have to go deep all the way to the base of anybody's dick to do anything. Now that little gooch area, that's a little bit different. There's some other the gouge. that's what we call it now. Oh,
the gouge.
That area, that's a little bit of the different sensory kind of thing. But you can play with that too, and play with glands. Look, however you find your pleasure is how you find your pleasure. Just know that head is where you need to be. Now, I will say, when it comes to myself and Pamela, I don't like Pamela, honestly. Palmisha. Me and my hand, Miss Handler. Whenever we engage
Handler
in
Adams.
Handler Adams, I like that. Whenever we're at play, yes, I do enjoy, the shaft play a little bit, even though I know it's not necessarily providing like a build up of pleasure, but it's kind of mentally I do like that, because it's like, okay, let's jerk some more blood up in a sense, but it's not necessarily, I know it's not really providing me pleasure. But if I bring myself out of it and start rubbing the tip in a circular motion, oh my god, I just be sending myself places, y'all. Know your body, people.
You're right. You gotta know your body, and that's the biggest thing, right? Getting the chance to explore your own body in a safe space. I don't think people understand, like, when you have like oppressive households or like religious standards and all that kind of stuff, it prevents you from like actually getting to know yourself. So when somebody comes out here and it actually shows you yourself, you be like, oh, I didn't know I was like this. Let me believe everything this person says or does or whatever. Like, no, like if you know yourself, then you can prevent a lot of issues from popping up in the future.
That's a word.
Yeah. And that's why, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, what were you saying?
Oh, and that's why, like, you know, sexual like expression, sexual identity, personal stances, all that kind of stuff is important to figure out and kind of play around with as you know, grow and operate in this life.
So that's actually leading into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is repressed sexual expression. But before I get your sentiment on repressed sexual expression, I want to know what do you do for yourself in terms of masturbation to make sure that you feel pleased? Like, how do you treat yourself in those moments? Like, is there anything special that you do? Anything that you want, like, at every time you masturbate that you want to happen? Like, what does that look like for you?
Well, most of the time, okay, so like it has to be quiet first off. Like, I don't like a lot of noise and stuff, like people moving around and shit, because you know I don't live by myself, so I'm just like a lot of movement kind of throws me off. Then like me personally, I like my legs open. Like I can have on a shirt or whatever, but the bottom's coming off. And I gotta have them legs open because like it's just one of the things.
It's freedom.
Yeah, it's freedom. Like it get hot down there. And then like another thing, like when I'm close, I noticed this about myself because like I was like, every time I get close, I start rubbing my balls for some reason. I'm like, why am I rubbing my balls? I don't know. Like, it's like that kind of stuff is like the stuff that you don't really notice until you like somebody points it out, or like, you know, you have a partner that's masturbating you, and then you just like, there's something missing from this.
Rub my balls.
Yeah, like you have to teach somebody how to masturbate.
Like I know I've been with others who they like pressure on their dick, like they want it to be grabbed, like being in a space of men who have sex with other men, let's put it that way, and someone decides to jerk you off, you're just, that teaches me what they like for themselves, because I don't like other people to touch my dick, because I'm like, you don't know how to handle this bitch like I know how to handle this bitch. Don't touch my girl like that. Don't do that to her. Don't fuck with it. So I'm like, I do not like people to touch my dick, but because like I am very sensual when it comes to how I play with myself. But like to be in a space and they do grab on, I'm just like, okay, that means you're the type of person who likes the pressure of it when you're having sex. Like going back to my regular, he's the type who enjoys pressure, not too much pressure, but pressure in general, but also enjoys pressure when it like closer to the balls area. And like, so just from watching, because the motherfucker doesn't like to communicate, and I'm great when it comes to body language and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know in order to get this person to the point of wanting to ejaculate, I'm going to have to cuff, apply pressure, and then still, you know, apply the sensation towards the glands to produce the outcome that I want. For example, the last time we hooked up, the don't make me come, I can't, don't do it. That happens because I know how to manipulate his body because I paid attention. So it's like, when it comes to those spaces and you don't have the knowledge or the know-how, and you're with other men, it's just like they teach you what they like versus giving the space for you to teach them what you like for your body. Communicate, people.
And that's the thing though, like for me, it's extremely hard for me to communicate, only because like I was never in a space where I could communicate that stuff. And also anxiety is a bitch. Like anxiety is a whole bitch. Like that's one bitch I don't like fucking with. Like she just kicks in my door like, hey nigga, what you doing? I'm like, like I get scared. But you know, be having anxiety and shit, like you just don't know, like you're afraid of talking to that person and letting them know and being vulnerable with them. Because you don't know the outcome. Like you don't know if they might, oh nigga, like you gross. Like because not everybody's open to sex talk. Like
That's
just
true.
a thing.
That is true, and that's another thing. Most definitely, if you try to tell somebody, like I look, I might end up saying this again on the podcast because I get pissed every time this happens. I tell people exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to a sexual encounter. I tell them I enjoy it when somebody like plays with my ears, like suck on my fucking ears. I'm a different kind of beast. And these motherfuckers still don't do it. Like,
what do you mean? Let somebody tell me what to do.
Exactly. You have the entire playbook and you still don't. Like, if you want me to be the nastiest hoe from, like, I walk into the house, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally. I walk into the house, everything's great. I sit down on the couch and we having a conversation. You just come over, nibble on my fucking ear. We fucking. Automatically, like nothing else could have happened in that conversation. Even if I was not really ready and prepared mentally, as soon as that tongue touched my fucking ear, oh my god, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? Like, bitch, at first you wasn't cute, but you real cute right now. Like, what you trying to do? What's up? Like, how you feeling? Are we trying to fuck, or because you did the thing that needed to be done? Like, you touch the button and the button says on, and the on switch is not turning off until this nut is busted. Like, what we doing? We here now.
Yeah,
these motherfuckers still don't do it. And, like. And the thing is, like, sometimes I just be wanting to be like, okay, are you like nibble my ear? I want to send that correction, but like you said, some people don't take, like, you don't know how they're going to react to it, because it's like some people, when you give them that little instruction, that small piece of correction, is like, oh, now I'm turned off, or they took offense thinking that they weren't doing something right. It's like, no, it's not that you weren't doing something right. It's just that I want this exact thing to happen. That's all. Don't be in your head. Let's just, do this together. But nibble on the ears, motherfuckers. That's all I'm going to say. Nibble on the fucking. I'm not going to jump off of this fucking pedestal. It's always going to be here. The motherfuckers do it on a regular basis. Y'all going to hear me talking about these damn ear nibbles all of next fucking season on the fucking podcast. Y'all, I'm going to fill y'all in. Nope, motherfuckers are not nibbling on the ears yet, y'all. Still not.
You know what? And that's another thing. Somebody said, what is it? Sucking on somebody's toes. Like, I get it, like in thought, in theory. I'm like, okay, that's what it is, sucking on toes. But like when you actually like get there and stuff, you just kind of don't think about it. It's like escapes your mind because you don't think about like every part of your body being like an androgynous zone. Like for me, if like you suck on my thumb, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Like what's going on? Like let's have a conversation. You trying to fuck, right? Like.
Look, no, I actually had my big toe sucked on, and oh my god, I was just like, I did not go over there expecting this was going to happen, because if so, I would have like put extra lotion on my fucking feet and like did some extra washing after, like before I went over there. Like when I shower. Yes, I get my feet, but I've been walking after I got in the shower. So if I would have known a motherfucker was going to be sucking on my toes, I would have went to the bathroom, washed my feet again, and then put on some socks immediately after, and then show up. Because I don't want you to be sucking on the dirt of my bathroom or kitchen floor, whatever. I want you to have a healthy experience, or a I don't think there's bacteria on my fucking toe experience.
Exactly.
So it's like, let me know. But I was just like, oh shit. And it was like, sucking on my toes while jerking me off, and I'm just like, you are doing some things that I was not expecting when I came over here. I'm living for what's happening right now. Continue doing this. Don't take this toe out your fucking mouth, motherfucker. Now just invite a third person over here so they can fucking suck on this damn ear. I'm sorry. I'm good. So, to go back to repressed sexual expression, as you mentioned, some of this does come from like religious backgrounds, even some type of parenting, or just the society that we live in. Because look, we're very sexually oppressed and repressed. It's ridiculous. So, what is your perspective of repressed sexual expression?
So, like, my perspective of it, and I'm guessing, like, when you say perspective, you mean like my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it, like, because first off, when two people are, sex itself is not a grounds for a relationship. Like, you can't just like have sex like, yeah, we guess we're together now. No, that's the main reason why sexual repression is not a good thing in my point of view. Because if you don't know how to conduct yourself when you first have your sexual experience, because it can be very overwhelming, then you're not gonna know how to handle yourself with subsequent ones. Like, I'm of the firm belief that, like, if you've never done it once, then you're not gonna know how to handle yourself or how to do better and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's like riding a bike, exercising, anything that's physical, really. Like, if you do it once and you have somebody to coach you the right way, you're gonna start doing it right every single time, and you're gonna know how your body responds every single time. But without that, you're just gonna be lost in the sauce. Like, this is why people have this. My theory is this is why people have failed marriages. This is why people have failed relationships. This is why people fail to have or establish meaningful connections with partners.
I second that. Like, for me, I think of like sexual expression as another language too. Like, whenever, because I hate when people say that they expect their partner to know the roadmap to their body, and I'm just like, you cannot decipher a map if you don't know the legend. You don't know the lingo that's on the map. You don't even know the language of that map. So to tell me that I need to come into the space and knowing everything I need to do to please you is making me have to work harder to try to decipher you without even knowing the language. And what good is that? That's like me bringing hieroglyphs and you tell me, ask me what's the fucking story here. I don't fucking know. I have to track down 5 different fucking languages just so I can get close to something that I can translate these hieroglyphs for, just to give you the answer. I'm not doing all of that. Just give me the shortcut and let me know what the fuck you like, and that's perfectly fine. That does, like, telling me the lingo, like going off with the ear thing. Even though you know that, and you're not doing that, that does not necessarily mean that you have everything that you need. That's just one of the things that gets me there, right? Or with your partner, just because you know, my partner loves when I lick the clit or I suck the dick or whatever. That's not the only things that gets them off. What are your erogenous zones? What are the other areas that really please you that I can tap into to make sure that this is a full-on experience? And if your only expression of your sexuality is through penetrative means, everybody has a different penis. Like, you're not going to be fucked by the same penis on a regular basis. And now, if you outside of a marriage or whatever, or or like a monogamous relationship, you still want to want something different. What if your partner wants to try anal and you're not comfortable with that? That's a conversation. Okay,
Yep.
let's discuss that comfort. Is it because you tried this in the past and someone violated you? Is it something that is
Mm.
because you just don't trust the action? Is it because you lack the knowledge there? What is it
Mhm.
that will make you comfortable to get to this level that we can try this? Like,
Mhm.
really do have to map out your sexual desires with the partner, regardless of who they are. You can always start with the basics and then expand as things go on. Like, even when I
Mhm.
meet up with people, because I always ask them, what are you into? And if they just like, oh, I'm a top, or I'm a bottom, or I'm a verse, or I just like fucking, I like oral. I'm like, okay,
I'm just trying to
that's
get my dick wet. I want
right.
dick.
That's the bare
Okay.
minimum of, sexual expression in queer spaces, I guess. Cool. But what else do you like? Do you like aftercare? And I don't like even with those people who don't know the lingo and whatnot, I
Mm.
save those conversations for when we're actually in person. Like, okay, because I provide aftercare regardless. And after we have sex,
Mhm.
I ask people, "How are you doing? You okay?" And all this other stuff. Check in, and if they just want to go ahead and dip on out, I let them dip on out. You don't need that aftercare. Cool, whatever. Because nigga, I'm fine. But like,
Yeah.
but like, you need to know these things about your partner, regardless. And because we live in a space where we are not open to having those conversations with people, or we have the image that all sex is pretty much scripted for you and how you
Yep.
do it. Like, you go in, you fuck, somebody busts a nut, hopefully both, probably not, and then you continue on your day, and the other person just masturbate themselves until they bust their nut, and all is well after that. If that's the script that you're accustomed to, that's fine, that's great, that's dandy. That does not necessarily mean that it's healthy. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's great. It just means y'all might need to have a conversation of how you can both get there at the same time or within a similar time frame.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, I say all that to say,
Mhm.
do not expect people to have the answers to any test that's in a foreign language that they're not accustomed to.
Mhm. And I'd say this as well. Like, you have to remember, sex is one of those things that for men. I'm going to say this for men, or presenting masculine people.
Mm-hmm.
Sex is one of those things that does not come around enough for dudes to be extremely comfortable with it 100% of the time. Like, women, like, a woman could go down the street right now and be like, hey, you want to fuck? And they be like, sure, whatever. And it happens. Women can get more used to sex than dudes can. Like, and that's part of the reason why, like how I said, as you continue to do it, you get better, and like you start to get more comfortable with it and know how your body responds and shit. Like, dudes don't get that. So when women ask like, oh, what will get you there, or like, how will this help you and stuff like that, to me, I'm like, I don't really know, because I don't do this a lot. Like, like, if I was fucking on the regular, so I'm like, yeah, just spin around 3 times, smack my ass, and I'm good. Like, no, I don't get to do that a lot. So, asking, being okay with your partner even not knowing is a thing as well. Like, maybe they were sexually repressed, maybe they just don't do it enough, whatever the case may be. Just be open to be in that safe space.
Yeah. And this is going to be a controversial statement, and I don't mean it to be that way. Of course, this is just my personal view on it. And when it comes to the ability to be able to express yourself sexually, again, this is a personal feeling. Now, from what I see, women are oppressed sexually, meaning that they cannot express themselves sexually. However, they're not repressed sexually, meaning women often get the ability to vocalize a lot more of the freaky things that they want to get into, because a woman being freaky is also synonymous to being sexy and kinky and great, and I want to explore that, and I will give you that liberty to explore that. Of course, you have to have the right partner to do so, but you get that encouragement to be as freaky as you want to be. Opposed to with a lot of men, of course, we have the freedom to have sex with everybody we want to have sex with, but we do have that repression in terms of we're not able to explore our sexualities as much, because one will be labeled as something that we're not, either less than a man, queer, or whatever it is. Because even in spaces today, like there was an argument like 10 years or 7 years ago about eating pussy, having that seen as being less than manly. Eating ass is being seen as being gay. And it's like, even pegging is being gay. And it's like those things. And this is something that from what I've seen, and I have to vocalize this because I am a bisexual man people. For those who are new to the show, I look at things in an objective space, and I look at both sides on things. But I see that those kind of negative stances from everybody, and not just men, like women as well. Now, I will say it's been changing a little bit more, but not changing in a way that is beneficial to a lot more guys, because now you have a whole conglomerate of men who really do want to express themselves a lot more, who are just super afraid to do so because they feel as though they're going to lose their stance as a man. Because that's a cultural thing that we really do have to deal with. But look, I personally don't have the time to deal with all of that. They better find a podcast and find some healing. That's all I can say on that. But it's okay for you to express yourself how you want to express yourself. But you have that huge conglomerate of most definitely heterosexual men, and from the queer space, even queer men fall into that category too, who do not want to express themselves a lot openly because they either fear that it makes them feminine, it makes them less of a man, their manhood is connected to that, even as a gay, bi man, queer man, or whatever the case is. That they have to present themselves as the manly person. They have to be masculine at all times. Even they repress themselves sexually too, because they are afraid of mentioning, like, okay, every now and again I'm okay with getting my ass ate or something like that. But like essentially what I'm saying is that men do have a high level of repression within this society to how we get to express ourselves sexually, because if we're not taking on the role as the stereotypical or the heteronormative manly man, we're automatically seen as being less than a man, or we're less than a masculine entity, or we're automatically feminine, which honestly there's nothing wrong with being feminine at all, most definitely for those who are women. But the same message is perpetuated with those who are women or identify as women too. And I have to say that part too, because I even saw like on some apps where you might have a trans woman who says that, oh, I don't want any weak men. I've seen that, and I'm not saying that to shade a trans woman or anything like that, because you do you, boo, I love you. But it's like there's nothing less than that person wanting a partner who helps them or allows them to express themselves freely in terms of their sexuality. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's not too many men given that authority or that permission to go beyond the heteronormative image of masculinity or sexual expression, which causes a lot of issues. That's my little message there. But like, yeah, it's one of those things. I think that we really do have to just start giving people the freedom to express themselves openly without judgment, because again, this is not like a male versus female situation, because everybody deserves the opportunity to express their sexuality however they want to without judgment. It's just recognizing that these things do exist throughout our culture. And because it exists throughout a culture, which is a systemic thing, we have to be cognizant of that. Hey, this person might be coming from a space that they did not have that permission.
And,
Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say, and also like women who are extremely sexually repressed end up sexually showing out, and that's not. I mean, it's not healthy, but at the same time, it's kind of healthy. Like, how is she gonna learn?
Yeah. So, the last thing that I want to talk about before we end this episode is, are there any failures in male sex toys that you've seen or want to talk about?
Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this. Fleshlight, if you listening, Bad Dragon, all y'all motherfuckers. Y'all need to know that dudes, I don't like masturbatory toys are not good. They're just not. Like, the only thing there is just a cosmetic thing. Women have all these little gadgets. They got clit stimulators and shit like that and all this other kind of stuff. And it only costs them like maybe $100 at most. In order for, do you know how much a real doll costs? A real doll.
You talking about the blow up one?
No. It's
the figure, the half body.
Yeah, the actual half.
Those things like $500. A good one.
Like
$300, $500.
No, those are like 5,000.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the actual real doll and shit like that. Those are like at least a good 3,000 to and if you really want to get fancy with it, $4,000. Like those kind of things are what dudes actually need, for one. Because if you're like me, you can get into a headspace where like, only thing you doing is just like, yeah, this is a vagina, like that's it. You don't get the whole like, okay, this is like a full-bodied person, and like, you can do all this other kind of stuff and shit. So yeah, like, make real dolls affordable. Like, nobody, dude, I like ass. I like more than the whole.
Same. Like, I will say the failure I see in a lot of sex toys is that, one, they don't really cater to men per se, and I get that because look, the market for sex toys has always been women, but this is also going off of the repression of sexual expression. Is like giving that leeway for a lot more men to express themselves sexually too. Like, I love that they do have a lot more like sounding tools for people who are into sounding, but a guy doesn't necessarily have to go into the women's section just to find the sex toy that he needs. Like, right. That's the thing that really bothers me sometimes. Like, why not have like a cock ring that is also a masturbatory toy? Like, right, that will be lit as fuck. I put this at the base of my cock. Ew, that sounded so horrible. Can't do that again. I put this. I tried to do it, y'all. I'm sorry. I tried. I put this at the base of my dick and let it, start to massage upward and downwards that way, and it masturbates me that way, and then I can either join it by focusing on the glands a little bit more, but that's for those people who appreciate the sensation of the jerking motion. That's a way to get that vibration going on, or have something that I can utilize with my my testicles. For those people who like the pressure play, that doesn't have to be like a cock ring. Like, all of the toys for men are centered towards the dick. And you do have the occasional anal stimulators, which are focused on, bottoms and men who have sex with men, or just, pegging. But you don't have the option of, seeing more things. Outside, like if they have the BDSM space on a lot of sex shops where you can, novelty shops where you can find like different toys that you can go through, but even opening some of those up to show that, hey, you have this option for your nipples that you can use, a vibrating nipple ring for those people who like nipple stimulation, that you don't have to go to the BDSM for, because look, most people won't even think that you'll find nipple play in BDSM.
What?
Nipple clamps. That's the only reason why it's in the BDSM section. But you won't be able to find anything like that. Like having things available that you that is either unisex, of course, but that's also sex specific, genitalia specific, whatever. But they do not do enough research into men's pleasure for my liking. And I actually decided to like take part in a survey company to like provide, you know, my feedback on some things in hopes that they put me on to start testing toys so I can give additional feedback on what you know, is pleasing for men, and how they can expand their products for a lot more men. But it's like there's not enough. Like if you go into the women's section, you have thousands of toys. You go to the men's section, it's like we got about 25, and most of these things are the exact same thing, just a different color or a different shape or a different function in terms of like pulsation. Like, why is it that we cannot have our own underwear that we can use that also, you know, provides vibration similar to the one that you can find for women? Like, not to say like it's a huge thing, but I would like to have that. I would like to have underwear that's like also a butt plug, I guess, that I can utilize in public with a partner. I wouldn't mind that. Or a cock ring that is attached to like underwear, whatever. Like we can expand the options to a lot more people. Or even with the cock rings, why don't we have a lot more glans rings or a glans cap? Interesting.
Okay.
If we know that is a place where a lot of men and we know that's the center space, why are we not providing anything to actually stimulate that? These are the kind of things that we can really use in those spaces, and because they're not really available to us, then it's like even more reasons to not exploring these toys. Like, why am I going to purchase a toy if it's not going to do anything for me? Like, I literally have to purchase for myself, clitoral items just so I can find a little bit more things that stimulate my nipples. So, just thinking outside the box.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this damn episode. Hakeem, thank you so much for being on. Do you have any last words?
Love yourself, love others, and keep it moving, man.
Amen. Well, look, y'all. Heauxvember is coming to a close. Life is good. The new year is on its way. Hopefully, everything is a lot better for us all. And hopefully, a lot of us a lot happier. Who knows what the new year is going to bring? When it does come to New Year's resolutions, my thing is start practicing those new things that you want in the new year as soon as you can before the new year begins. Start on start on December 1st. That way it becomes a habit before the year begins. So go ahead and go out there and get your habit going. If you haven't caught up to the show, go back and listen. Again, we have one more episode. Well, not again, but we have one more episode in the Heauxvember series. Before we go on, the Soliloquy podcast goes on break for about 3 months. We will be back in March, y'all. We will be back. But thank you all so much for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful. You are worthy of happiness and joy. You are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.